Hi, I'm Rachel Gray, and today I'm going to show you how to make a potato gratin to go with the prime rib that I showed you how to make before. This gratin is really super easy, but it tastes amazing. On my blog, I tell a story about being in France with my family and having a potato gratin similar to this. And to me, this invokes the same kind of taste that I had then. So we'll start by assembling our ingredients. First, we're going to have 2 pounds of potatoes, which is about 3 of these larger potatoes. Some feta cheese, and I like the one that's in the brine, and it's in a chunk. It lasts longer, and you actually get more in the package than you do the pre-crumbled, and it crumbles really easy. So I like the one that's in the chunk. And then we've got some black pepper, some kosher salt, some heavy cream, some nutmeg, and some milk. And this is all you need in order to make this gratin. And you'll need a garlic clove. First thing we're going to need to do is peel and slice our potatoes. So I just take a regular potato peeler and I just peel them up. Okay, so my potatoes are all peeled, and now I'm just going to slice them up. You can use a mandolin if you have one. Otherwise, a good sharp knife is important. I just kind of try to just make them as even as I can. Not only do you want to make them even, but you want to make them thin too. So try to make them thin and even. That way they will cook evenly and they'll, cook fairly fast. Okay, we are done slicing our potatoes. Now we're gonna put together the sauce that goes on them, and then we'll layer them in the pan. It's pretty easy. So for the sauce that goes on top, I use 1 cup of heavy cream, and I just pour it all into this bowl, this measuring cup. And then I use 1 cup of milk. Okay. And then I use 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I use some black pepper, about almost a teaspoon, like 3/4 of a teaspoon. Okay, and then I use some nutmeg. This may seem like a weird ingredient to you, but it just adds a little layer of warmth. And also, if you think about like an Italian bechamel, has a little bit of nutmeg in it, so I'm going to use that. And for nutmeg, you can buy it already in the powder form, but I like the whole nut, and I just use a microplane to grate it into my mixture here. So you just kind of muscle it in. Probably like 1/8 of a teaspoon, 1/8 to 1/4, something like that. Not a lot, just enough. That smells so good. Okay, and then the ingredient I almost forgot at the beginning, which was a garlic clove. On your garlic clove, when you go to buy your garlic, you want to buy ones that have a nice tight skin on them. This one, if you'll notice, look, it has a little dimple on this side. Can you see that? That means that this underneath here is rotten. It's no good. So you want to find ones that have the nice tight skin and not like anything squishy, because then your clove underneath is not good. So you just need 1 garlic clove, and I just crack it to get the paper off. See? And the paper just slides off. And then I use a garlic press to squeeze it in. Just 1 garlic clove. There we go. And then I just go ahead and add the cheese right in here and stir it all together. And then we'll just layer our potatoes and our cream mixture. So here's my feta. And I just go ahead and break a little bit of it off. And if I crumble this into a cup, probably about 1/3 of a cup. You could really measure it since I'm in a measuring cup right here. I could really see exactly. There we go. So, just a little feta crumbled up. Wash hands. And then just stir this all together. And you really do want to get to the very bottom since the salt's going to go right to the bottom, and we definitely want it to be salted, the potatoes. So I'm going to take one potato, 1/3, and I'm just going to spread it in the bottom of the pan. Okay? There we go. And then I'm just going to pour some of this over it. Make sure I get a little bit of cheese on there. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to put my next potato on. Just separate all the layers. So it looks like that. And I'll pour the next layer over the top. And then I'll do the last bit of my potatoes. There we go. Pour the rest over. And I kind of just want to make sure I get all the salt out into some liquid before it's all done. There. Okay, now I'm going to bake this in the oven uncovered at 400 degrees. If you use convection, I would check it after about 50 minutes. But if you don't, then it's going to take an hour and 10. And if it gets a little too brown for you on the top, then you can always cover it with some tin foil. And you can tell if the potatoes are done if you put a fork in them and it slides right through. Okay, so it's been 50 minutes. I did go ahead and cover this at probably about half an hour in. So after 30 minutes I covered it. I just looked at it and thought it's brown enough for me. So this is what it looks like. You can tell that it's done by a fork. If you slip a fork in here and it slips right in and out, then you know that it's done. You're gonna really like this. It's a perfect accompaniment to the primer that I showed you before. You can find this recipe and over 200 like it on my blog, cookingwithrachel101.com.